This week on Money Matters, the family feud at Korea's largest retail giant Lotte has stirred up heated debate about corporate governance at the country's biggest companies. More people are calling for reforms. Soaring temperatures and prolonged droughts have pummeled Korea's economy and others around the world, the damage in numbers. And Korean cosmetics are becoming a game changer in the global market. Novel ideas creating fresh demand. We'll look at the secret of success. What stories matter in Asia? We'll look at the changing landscape of business in Korea and the rest of Asia on Money Matters. Hello everyone, I'm Kim Il-sun. Thanks for joining us once again. Let's start off with our top headlines with 소랑.
Thank you, Il-sun. Nearing the midpoint of her 5-year term, President Park Geun-hye addressed the nation last week, further highlighting her drive for structural reforms. She underscored the importance of overhauling the public, labor, finance and education sectors to shore up the country's growth engines, while saying her priorities on revamping the rigid labor market. President Park sought support for the wage peak system, which would make more room for youth employment, and emphasized that performances should outweigh seniority when determining wages. In other fields, she pledged to consolidate overlapping public projects and remove corporate protectionism in the financial sector. The Korean economy is recovering from the MERS shock, but growth is still feeble and not strong enough to attain the government growth target of 3.1% this year. This was according to a report released by Korea Development Institute, which said while domestic consumption and investment indicators did improve in July, the figures were still weak. It said gains were outweighed by on-year losses in manufacturing and slumping industrial output. Given the downcast mood of the global economy, the think tank said conditions for exports remain poor. The institute late last month downgraded the country's growth forecast to 2.6%. Samsung Electronics has topped almost all smartphone markets around the world in second quarter performance, with North America being the only region where it trailed behind Apple. According to data compiled by industry tracker Strategy Analytics, Samsung was the top seller of smartphones in Europe, Latin America, Asia Pacific, the Middle East and Africa in the months of April to June. Experts attribute Samsung's global dominance to solid sales in its low to mid-priced handsets and the Galaxy S6. The tech giant sold a combined 72 million units. Samsung is unveiling new devices this week in New York to retake the smartphone crown in North America. Foreign investors were net buyers for the first 7 months of this year, snatching up roughly $5.8 billion on Seoul's main bourse, Kospi. According to Korea Exchange, overseas investors offloaded stocks in the months of June and July, but buying prevailed in the run-up to those months. This places Korea in second place out of other Asian markets so far, following India, which saw foreign investors net buy around $7 billion. Petrochemicals, transportation and equipment companies were the most popular with foreign investors, and the purchase of big cap stocks on the Kospi jumped by 19% on year.
Topping business headlines both in Korea and Japan is a family feud over succession at Lotte Group. The intense bickering has brought to light the reality of family-run business empires, and with it, questions have been raised about complex and closed-off corporate governance mechanisms within Korea's biggest companies. More people are calling for reforms and greater transparency. Landing on the front page of all business news these days is the fight for succession at Lotte Group. The family feud has prompted the government to examine the company's complex governance structure.
현재 공정거래위원회는 기업 집단 롯데의 해외 결사 소유 실태를 정밀하게 파악 중입니다.
Lotte has a significant number of affiliates both in Korea and Japan. Japanese media has also criticized the recent battle over ownership. While Lotte has business units both in Korea and Japan, the group's chairman in Seoul, Shin Dong-bin, says sales in Korea account for almost 95% of the company's revenue. with its hands in everything from food and beverages to culture and retail, the family feud is expected to have a large impact on Korea's economy, and already it has stirred up anti-big business sentiments among the public. The Financial Consumer Agency, a non-profit organization, has launched a boycott on all goods and services from Lotte, saying it protests corporate governance driven by the interest of founder families.
자유 경쟁 질서에서 올 수 있는 어떤 이런 가격의 그 합리적인 가격 산정이 그 제대로 이루어지지 않을 수 있다는 것이죠. 예를 든다면 재벌들이 가족에게 일감을 몰아주고 가족에게 생산과 판매를 전용시킴으로 말미암아서 자유 경쟁이 이루어지지 않음으로써 시장의 가격이 높아지고요. 또한 소비자의 입장에서는 어떤 또 불편을 감수해야 되는 그러한 유형 무형의 많은 어떤 손실이 가져올 수 있었다는 거죠.
The fight for succession started last year when Shin Dong-ju, the oldest son of the company's founder, was ousted from management. Although it looked as if the reins were going to the younger son, Dong-bin, this all changed when Dong-ju fired back with the help of his father. Meanwhile, Dong-bin has managed to win over support from some 30 heads of the group's business arms. The mudslinging over Lotte has not only tainted the company's image, but has brought to light the opaque corporate ownership structure within. Data from the Fair Trade Commission show that Lotte's ownership structure is far complex compared to other conglomerates. Despite only holding 2.41% in total stakes, the founder family is able to control the entire group through a web of cross-shareholdings.
적은 지분을 가지고 큰 기업을 지배할 수 있는 그 핵심적인 방법은 유독 우리나라에서 많이 성행하고 있었던 그런 순환 출자 구조라고 볼 수 있겠죠. 물론 이제 그 신규 순환 출자는 앞으로 이제 금지가 되어 있습니다만 기존에 있었던 순환 출자를 끊어야 됩니다.
Just until 2 years, there were 90,000 cross-shareholding links, but this has been dramatically reduced, and currently at Lotte, a total of 416 of its Korean units are connected through these deals.
기업이 성장해가는 과정에서 재벌들이 문어발식 확장을 하게 됩니다. 그 과정에서 아무래도 총수가 가진 자본력이 떨어졌다는 거예요. 자본의 보충을 어디서 받아야 되나 하면 금융기관으로부터 차입을 해야 됩니다. 차입을 해서 하는 그런 이제 사업을 확장을 하다 보니까 기업 간에 서로 이 기업에서 뭐 다른 기업에 출자를 하고 다른 기업에서 또 이 기업에 출자하고 이런 이제 얽히고 설켜가는 이런 구조를 갖기 시작하는 거예요.
Back in 2013, the government banned companies from carrying out new cross-shareholding investments, but companies have been using their overseas affiliates to boost their numbers. This creates concern that assets and earnings may leave the country with these deals as well. Lotte's in-house bickering has also prompted politicians to address the need for reforms on the front of corporate governance.
대기업 오너가 미미한 지분을 가지고 순환 출자를 통해 대기업을 자신의 개인 회사처럼 좌지우지하는 것은 경제 정의에 부합하지가 않습니다.
한국 경제가 구조적 위기에서 벗어나는 유일한 처방전, 경제 민주화에 있다는 것을 다시 한번 강조합니다.
The mechanism of cross-shareholding is something that emerged along with Korea's economic development. More people are calling on business leaders to change these practices as the country's economy is now in a new phase.
지배 구조를 경영에 참여할 수 있는 상당수에게 기회를 부여를 해야 되고 현재 여러 가지 제도가 있는 사회이사 제도라든가 주총이라든가 이런 그 주주들에 대한 권한이라든가 이런 것들을 더욱더 강화해주는 이런 방식으로 점진적으로 개선해 나가야 우리나라 재벌들이 경쟁력을 더 갖출 수 있다. 그렇게 볼 수가 있죠.
The idea that the founder and the family members of Korea's largest corporations have absolute authority to rule over their business empires is no longer the norm. But the question is, will this be enough to shake up management practices at these mega corporations?
Now, the recent sweltering heat wave has shot mercury levels up, turning the entire nation into a big oven and making it very uncomfortable for those stuck within. The main reason for the sudden heat wave and the drastic temperature increase is said to be the effects of global warming. It seems like the world's getting hotter with each passing year. So on today's In Numbers, we'll be taking a look at some temperature comparisons both in Korea and around the world, and also some of the dangers and damages caused by these sudden heat waves. Now, it's not just Korea experiencing warmer weather than usual. Overall, the global average temperature has gone up about 0.7 degrees Celsius over the past century. Now, the increase in average temperature has detrimental effects on ecosystems, livestock, agriculture, and of course, people. Korea has seen a jump in average temperature of 1.7 degrees Celsius, making it very hot here on the peninsula. But this blistering heat doesn't look like it's a one-time deal. This year's heat wave has claimed 7 lives so far and put over 700 people in the hospital for treatment of heat-related conditions, with more predicted in the future. And along with rising temperatures, medical expenses have soared as well. As of 2011, heat wave caused accumulated $607 million in damages. But in 2020, it's expected to leave behind a bill of nearly $9.8 billion. By 2050, experts predict that the medical costs will reach a whopping $45.3 billion. Now, we've experienced many heat waves in the past, but this year's came earlier, and it's more widespread than before. Parts of the northern hemisphere, including Europe, China, and Japan, have also been reporting severe heat waves since the end of June. Over in China, where they've been seeing temperatures of over 35 degrees, the country has also been hit by exceptionally heavy rainfall and flooding, resulting in devastating blows to agricultural production, especially in rice and cotton, with estimated economic losses at $258 million. Now in Korea, farmers have been reporting livestock damage, with ducks, chickens, and pigs dying in huge numbers due to the heat. And in Japan, the country is seeing a shortage in power supply as more try to cool down and counter this heat. Finally, over in Europe, electricity costs have jumped roughly 20%. So all over the world, we're seeing different results and losses from this year's scorching heat. And while this isn't a record-breaking summer quite yet, experts say that intervals between these strong heat waves are becoming shorter, which means people need to take extra steps to prepare. Now that's it for today's In Numbers. Stay cool while we bring you more interesting insight and information from Korea and the rest of Asia.
Trends in business evolve rapidly by the day, and we have some of the most interesting stories lined up from Asia. Let's get a close look at what they are.
Korean banks and securities firms are looking to break into new markets, mainly in Southeast Asia. In order to target local customers, Korean banks are moving to acquire banks in the region and also establish personal ties with those in the financial sector. Many see countries like Vietnam, Myanmar, Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines as promising markets. They're thought to have great growth potential and profitability. These markets are known for experiencing rapid growth, but particularly popular among securities firms is Indonesia, with its booming population of 250 million. Last year, India elected Prime Minister Narendra Modi to head the country, and within 1 year since taking office, he's visited 12 different nations and secured $19.7 billion in foreign investments. The countries he's visited so far include Korea, the US, China, Australia, Brazil, and Sri Lanka, and mostly to rally up more investment projects. Thanks to low oil prices, India's economy has been on an upward trend, and the Prime Minister's market-friendly policies have spurred more interest in equity fund investments. Korean Finance Center said according to an analysis on 7 markets in Asia from July 2nd through the 29th, India saw a total of $8.7 trillion flow into the equity funds from foreign investors, while in 5 other countries, they saw a net of outflow standing at $1.9 billion in Korea and $1.6 billion in Taiwan. China's department stores are finding themselves in extremely difficult times, with many closing down in the face of rapid expansion in the e-commerce market. According to news agency Xinhua, Wanda Group, one of China's largest real estate and entertainment conglomerates, is set to shut down around half of its 80 stores that it used to run nationwide. Wanda Group said it's responding to a changing consumer market as well as a slowing economy. Korean department stores are facing a similar crisis. As internet shopping continues to become more prevalent, department store sales have dropped for the third consecutive year. Many people are said to visit stores to find what they want and then go home to order online. In general, production costs have been significantly cheaper in China. Hence nowadays, most things are labeled with Made in China. But now, cheaper in China is a phrase of the past. China's labor costs rose significantly over the course of 1 year, putting the production cost in the US against China at 1 to 0.96. In particular, spinning with both yarn and silk textile production in the US is actually 30% cheaper than China, making production in the US a more attractive option for business owners. The New York Times reported that this explains why more Chinese textile mills have been migrating out of China. Already 20 Chinese textile manufacturing companies have made their new homes in North and South Carolina. Where are the world's millionaires moving to now? According to global research company New World Wealth, many of the world's millionaires are migrating to the UK. The study tracks the movement of millionaires over the course of 15 years, and the clear pattern that has emerged is that London is particularly popular, as it not only provides a good environment for education, but also offers easy access to other areas in Europe. Also popular is the US, among Chinese millionaires, grabbing second place, while Singapore came in third for its lighter tax burden. The greatest number of millionaires on the move was from China, which saw over 90,000 relocate. This is said to be due to pollution problems and the intense crackdowns on corruption from the Chinese government.
One of the world's leading advertising firms, WPP, has listed Korean cosmetics as one of the 100 global trends to keep an eye on this year. Dubbed K-beauty, the industry is growing at an exponential rate, and products launched by local brands are revolutionizing the beauty routines of consumers all over the world. So Ms. Arirang is here to tell us more.
That's right. BB creams, CC creams, cushion compact, and so on. These are found all over the world now, but they all had their origins in Korea. Along with K-pop, K-beauty is the latest Hallyu trend being exported worldwide, and it's become a major growth engine for the local economy. So I went to dig into the reasons behind this global success.
Most of the big beauty trends in the last few years have come out of Korea. There's a lot of amazing skincare, just really, really light.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Korean cosmetics are taking the global beauty industry by storm. From skincare to makeup, products in every category and at every price point are gaining more popularity by the day. The tangled streets of Yeongdong is the perfect place to check out the country's latest beauty trends, and it's become a must-see stop for tourists interested in Korean cosmetics.
많이 좋은 편이라고 생각을 해요. 그리고 다른 업종보다는 이제 좀 더 화장품을 많이 삭구하기 때문에 호황이기도 하고 많이 온다고 생각합니다.
But this doesn't mean that all products are bestsellers. It's only the more distinct goods that can get people to open up their wallets. We interviewed some foreign tourists to see if they really favor Korean cosmetics. Most turned out to have at least one or two products.
Toner, wrinkle toner. I bought mascara, face cream, lipstick, and toner. I think they're better than American.
安くてすごい効く性能がいいと思います。
The biggest K-beauty hit so far is the Cushion Compact. Invented by a local firm, it contains a sponge soaked in foundation to be applied with a polyurethane puff. Cushion packs such as these are changing the world's makeup trend. They allow for quick and easy touch-ups throughout the day, and the simplicity of it has led to a strong global following. Now what's interesting is that since cushion packs were introduced, other Korean products that have released since then are also becoming million sellers, being loved by all over the world. These cushion packs have logged exports worth $200 million a year, with accumulated sales reaching over 20 million units.
아이오페 에어 쿠션은 미국, 대만, 일본, 중국 등에 진출해 있고 현지에서도 굉장히 큰 인기를 끌고 있습니다. 처음 개발될 당시에는 어느 특정 나라를 이제 기반으로 하고 개발된 것은 아니지만 현재는 이제 전반적인 모든 여성들의 고민을 해결하는 그런 아이템으로서 한국에서 시작해서 전 세계로 뻗어나가는 그런 제품이 되고 있습니다.
Other notable K-beauty exports include BB cream, which is a hybrid between foundation and sunscreen, and also CC cream, which is a crossover between skincare and makeup. The widespread popularity of these products has sparked greater interest in Korean cosmetics in general. The scope of this K-beauty trend has gone beyond neighboring Asian countries, spilling over into Europe and the Americas. Amazon in the US has created a section dedicated solely to Korean cosmetics. But the biggest consumers are from mainland China, purchased more than $530 million worth last year, followed by those in Hong Kong, Japan, and the US. The fanfare behind Korean cosmetics comes not only from the popular cultural wave known as Hallyu, but also from the outstanding quality.
If you look at the statistics, the basic skincare has ranked 44% within the whole cosmetic export. There's one special trend that distinguishes Chinese markets is that they're crazy about mask-back products. According to the Euromonitor's report, its market will grow more than twice than what is now.
So it's not a surprise that face masks are steady sellers in the market. The masks are typically thin sheets of cotton or other textile doused in liquid to hydrate the skin. Significant volumes are being shipped not only to China, but to the US as well. The latest hit product incorporates animal characters into the design. The size of Korea's face mask industry surpassed the $260 million mark last year and is growing at a rapid pace. The key behind the success is in their wallet-friendly prices and fun ideas.
처음에는 이제 시트 관련해서 이제 시트에 좀 차별화를 둬볼까라는 걸 많이 고민을 했었어요. 그리고 시트를 개발하게 되면서 인쇄가 된다라는 거에 대한 테스트를 2달간 진행을 했었고요. 그러면서 이제 소비자들이 조금 더 신기하고 그리고 타사랑은 확연하게 다르다라는 걸 보여주고 싶어서 동물을 초이스해서 지금 진행을 하게 됐습니다. 작년 대비해서 약 4배 정도 높아진 상태입니다.
Also driving the K-beauty phenomenon is the strong reputation of Korea's professional makeup artists. Actress Tang Wei is one of several Chinese celebrities that switched to a Korean makeup artist after experiencing a style makeover. As leading makeup artists become as famous as their Hallyu star clients, many are launching their own range of beauty products, such as Son Dae-sik and Park Tae-yu's successful line, 손앤밥.
지금도 필드에서 메이크업 아티스트로 일을 하고 있기 때문에 제품을 만들 때, 제품을 사용을 할 때 그 어떤 브랜드의 제품하고 견주어도 손색이 없는 제품을 만들어야겠다 생각을 하고 제가 활동하고 있으면서 제가 만든 제품을 사용을 해야 되잖아요. 그래서 이 아티스트로 이렇게 오랫동안 활동하면서 아무래도 그런 것들이 제가 만든 화장품에 녹아 있다 보니까 자연스럽게 어떤 퀄리티는 좀 따라줬던 것 같고요.
With K-beauty continuing to pioneer global beauty trends, the Korean cosmetics industry is forecast to carve out a bigger share of the global beauty market.
에어 쿠션이니 비비 크림이니 달팽이 크림, 팩과 같은 최신의 트렌드를 주도하고 있는 부분도 있고 품질을 기반으로 한 성장을 하고 있기 때문에 향후에도 굉장히 전망이 밝을 거라고 생각을 하고 앞으로도 뭐 중국과 같은 나라가 우리나라를 벤치마킹해서 열심히 그 R&D에 투자를 많이 하고 있기 때문에 우리나라도 향후에도 이제 지속적인 R&D 투자를 통해서 품질 수준을 현재와 같이 최고 수준으로 유지를 하는 게 가장 큰 관건이다 이렇게 생각을 하고 있습니다.
So, it looks like the exports of these Korean cosmetics will continue. But it's not just sales that they need to think about. What about the patent issues?
Absolutely. And with a string of major international cosmetic houses such as L'Oreal's Lancôme releasing cushion compacts of their own, patent battles are expected to get more complicated. Meanwhile, Christian Dior has actually signed an MOU with Korea's Amore Pacific to use its cushion technology, so a different development on that front. Most of Korea's major producers have created teams dedicated solely to patents and trademarks in order to better protect the company's intellectual property. In fact, one firm has over 9,000 registered patents, which is more than any other company in Korea, including the largest firm, Samsung Electronics.
Well, Ms. Rang, as I understand, the cosmetics usually carry a very low unit price. So in order for the companies to generate significant revenue, they need to create a very large volume. Is that correct?
That's right.
Well, what are the success factors they have besides the factors that we saw in the report?
Well, one thing I found really interesting was that ingredients played a big part. For example, in Korean face masks, there are extracts from ginseng, fermented beans, volcanic rock, and even snail slime or mucin, which aren't found in your average beauty product overseas. So the novelty of these extracts sparks curiosity, and foreign customers try it out to see what it can do for their skin. So exotic ingredients, high quality, and innovative technology all play a part in making many of these products million sellers.
Well, I guess the cosmetics will be another sector that Korea will be able to push out more exports and see further growth in. Thank you, Ms. Orang.
My pleasure.
That's all we have on Money Matters. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll bring you plenty of stories as they unfold in Asia and give you a view of the changing landscape of business in the region. I'm Kim Il-sun. Thanks for watching.